It's tabletop time.
I'm Jasmine Draw with Jazz.
I'm Shad from I Am Shad.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Mackie. Today we're going to be here doing It's Tabletop Talk.
What are you giggling like a
which
schoolgirl
is
about?
a new
so
segment.
distracting all the time. Sorry, go on.
We're continuing,
Sorry,
yes.
Mackie.
So this
he's
is...
giggling like a schoolgirl, and you're whining
Mackie
like a
is
schoolgirl.
talking.
You're whining like a schoolgirl.
Mackie is talking.
Hi, Mackie.
Yeah. So today we're doing It's Tabletop Talk, which is a new segment where each week we're going to talk about a specific topic, whether it be game systems, our system, past stories, and those sorts of things. And we're going to pick them from the Twitch chat and discuss
But not
them.
our country's foreign policy.
No, we're going to try and stay away from
Stay away from
policy.
Jazza wanted me to preface.
Do you want me to
that.
out you? I will out you as... No, let's keep out of politics.
I thought we scrapped that when we elected him. Foreign policy.
Let's just... Anyway.
Yeah, so...
Haven't we really jumped into politics?
Wow.
No, okay, so today
It
the
took all
Twitch
of 10
chat has
seconds.
asked to hear a past story from a
Yes.
previous campaign that we played. And so we're going to tell one about how the first character that has ever played in one of our campaigns, one of us has played, died in our
Out of
campaign.
all four of us, only one of us has had a character die thus far out of the two previous campaigns we played, and it was me.
Shad. So this was a campaign that I narrated. It was a zombie apocalypse campaign. Rob, do you want to set the scene for our viewers?
Describe my character, Rob.
Describe
His
all
name-
of it.
Make sure you're doing
Give us a
justice.
synopsis
Okay,
of a bit of the whole thing.
Just to let you know,
What
his
is-
name was Eric, and he spoke in an accent.
Oh God, we hate Scottish.
This is why I
his
hate Scottish people.
characters.
This
are-
is- Yeah.
This is why everyone hates Scottish people. My
This
character.
is why everyone hates. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
sorry, Scottish people. I do not represent you well.
Let me pat you with my extremely long arm.
Okay, I'll try and set the scene. So, the world has pretty much gone to hell, and what's left of the U.S. The actual U.S. states have kind of been big brotherized, where the government is watching everything, and everything's patrolled by military, and it's really strict. And then all of a sudden, all the military just leaves, and leaves all the people to themselves, like all the people by themselves, and then
The gas.
they kind of gas everyone, but it doesn't seem to have any visible effect. Anyway, we decide to leave the town we were in.
What does the guess?
So long
was?
story short,
We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
I want to know.
Anyway,
we're scrutinising your every move.
we leave the
Keeping
town
me in
and we
suspense.
start moving towards. We're moving east to the east coast of the states because we were in Arizona.
Why are we moving east? Shut
Because
up.
to the west was some old, like a big band of rebels where like no law had been in that part of the country for several years at this stage, and there was murder and everything, rape and drugs and weapons and shit.
So
Just
if you're in the
everywhere.
east and they're in the west, how did you know that was happening in the west?
Because I ran away from it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, let him talk. Jesus.
Anyway, so we headed east and we came into a town, or what was left of a facility. Anyway,
Let's give our characters some context.
yeah, okay. I was playing Lieutenant John Karras, a retired military veteran, and he'd gone through some hard times, and he was kind of living on the streets when the west side of the United States went to hell, and he saw a lot of people die, saw a lot of stuff, and and then just kind of ran. The only thing he had with him was his dog Max.
Who were you playing, Mackie?
I was playing... That's a good question. Georgia.
That was her name.
Yes. And my character had a bit of a rough childhood and didn't trust people, and wound up being a little bit of a badass in some points and doing some things that were questionable, but
Killing old ladies.
For no reason.
Everyone had lived.
Killing old ladies.
Everyone had lived in Arizona together, serving the state, which was the commonplace thing at the time until the military left. So they were all kind of left to their own devices with the people of the town. Who were you playing, Shad?
Well, Jazza, I was playing Scotland. Yeah, my accent's
Okay,
just...
who were you playing, Shad?
Eric. I was playing Eric.
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 He was Scottish.
Scottish.
This is a terrible... my ability to do that accent is just
Get your
disappeared.
book.
It's terrible anyway.
You can show pictures.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, no, keep talking.
Anyway, my guy was Eric, and he was a jerk. I was playing him as a jerk.
He was a pornography-addicted
the-
teenage game player,
gamer.
addicted...
But and he
Ginger.
Walking pawn shop.
Yeah, like it...
Porn.
he
Not
was
porn.
he was a trader. he was a trader, and he traded for things, and it just so happened that everyone wanted pornography, and so that became the
because the
currency.
internet no longer existed,
That
and
basically
printing
became the
press no longer
currency, and
existed,
so
and porn.
my character had a lot of porn because he was a scavenger and a trader. And,
back to the context of the game. Tell us. So you're traveling west, east. Haha! I always. Yeah. Okay.
So we were traveling east, and we came across a small facility that had been storage or mining or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But we get there, and everyone's dead. And there's this well, not everyone. There was like a group of cannibals at some stage. Anyway, we find there's this massive fire there, and we get closer, and there were zombies. So we assumed that's what the gas was. So we took them out, and then we made our way back to where we'd left the rest of our town because it was only a small group that went ahead. And we get back there, and everyone's either dead or knocked out on the ground, and there's this kind of hot chick on a motorbike just stealing all our shit. Anyway, Eric made a pass at her, and it was kind of...
Because his porn addictive freak, and also had no sense of
my character
respect.
My character had the
Overconfident.
disabling characteristic of being overconfident, and I think I played that quite well.
Yeah, you did. It ended up killing you, but that was
he would hit upon any woman in a very overconfident, very crude way, and often get rejected because he was an absolute jerk. He wouldn't do anything for anyone unless they gave him something, because he was an opportunist and he was out for himself first and foremost. So everyone hated him by this point because
I should mention he also shot someone in our group.
Well, he tried to shoot him first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't like him by this point anyway.
Oh, but also my character had been blackmailing everyone up to this point because they were only able to escape the town because of all the stuff my character had stockpiled over the years, and he had all this equipment.
So he was trying to control people.
And I was just being
so in this scenario, when they return, and this woman called Daisy was robbing the people of the group who were already sort of
knocked out and tied up.
Yeah. She was just kind of making the best of the situation as she was passing through on a motorbike. The group returns to see her, assuming she had part of it, but also interacting with her and learning that she didn't do it and that it was to do with a zombie attack because the gassing that had happened, blah blah blah, people had turned into zombies. So that had happened.
So anyway, we called them zombies. We called them something else because we didn't have a name for them. We went Walking Dead style, where they don't know what a zombie is.
No, Eric knew the word zombie.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
So long story short, at the point when Daisy was about to leave...
No, you're missing a very crucial thing. Eric made a pass at this Daisy lady.
He asked her for a blowjob.
And then this...
Oh, yeah.
This is not putting me in
evidently
the...
armed.
I am nothing like this character, okay?
When you roleplay, you play a character.
Yes.
You are not the character. And your story
this character
this creepy dude
was a
made
jerk
a pass.
and did many things I would never, ever do. Anyway, so...
That's a lie. Sorry, go on.
The response that this woman did was to threaten Eric's manhood by taking out a knife and holding it to his groin. And Eric being...
He retreated in that moment to being like...
Oh, yeah. But
and then she turned around. And then this is the confrontation that happened.
That girl just...
He pulled a gun.
That girl just threatened his
But
manhood.
she was ready
You don't get away
and
with that.
waiting. Like she had very good statistics that he as a player didn't know and as a character didn't know. So he was just playing his character, which is fair enough, that's the point, and pulled a gun on her, not knowing how clever she was and where she was, and she instantly turned around and killed him. And it was just the way the roles went. It was
a couple
really...
of things. I had the destiny points to live through that, if you remember.
He did.
Yeah.
And I chose not to use them.
It seemed like a apt way to die.
It was because it was good storytelling, and you do sort of have that option. And sometimes,
so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to play your characters to their death. You want to play their characters true to their character. But in that situation when there was a choice where I could live or die, and I wouldn't be metagaming either way, it was time for him to die.
And it seemed sort of fitting. Well, and keep in mind that same campaign, he built another character and began playing immediately. So
a much better character, just as weird, but a much better character.
Yeah, the next character was awesome. I love.
But it was very interesting to see how instantly things can just change, all based on the roll of the dice, and it was really cool because it was so like unforgiving. You make a bad roll, or you play your character and you don't know the other character, and
sometimes like if your character's overconfident and you know the action you want them to do will probably lead to their death, you be true to the character and just play it, man. And this is the kind of thing,
like jumping out of
having
the car,
your character die is not
on
the
a
end of the
flying
world.
highway.
Honestly, having a character
at 100 miles an
die
hour.
is an opportunity to play a new character, which will be
And to
fun
have
in a different
an
way.
awesome story to tell later.
Yeah, and also, if that zombie apocalypse campaign was a movie, this is one of the reasons why I let him die. If any character would die in the context of the story, it would have been him. Everyone hated him. He was reckless, and he was the one who should die.
And our characters had attempted to kill him or severely injure him at various parts of the
No, I
campaign.
protected him.
Alright, cool. So that is
He
the...
pissed me off.
You were going to say something before.
Oh, that campaign went from so small to so absurdly big so quickly. Jesus.
Out in the desert in Arizona
Peggy
to
Swabbles
taking a
bombing
dump
the
on the
White
White House lawn. So but that is a story for another
Yes,
time.
the end of that campaign ended with one of
that's
the characters taking a dump on the White House lawn after we blew it up.
It was his character.
No, we didn't blow the White
No
House.
surprises
We
there.
blew up Washington, D.C., and we dropped a Jeep into the
But
top of the
that
White
is a
House.
story for another time. Anyways,
Nothing
yeah.
against Americans. We love yous.
So this has been Tabletop Talk.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching.